Welcome to the home of electric scooting, the Electric Scooter Podcast, the only electric scooter podcast that you know of, that I know of, in the world. So if you want to listen to a podcast about electric scooting, I guess we're the only game in town. Today we got a great episode. It's the third and not final because we'll have Jesse back again, but the third installment of our interview with Jesse. He's the founder of PEVRA, which can be found at PEVRA.org, Personal Electric Vehicle Riders Association. And he's the organizer of West Wheel, which is an annual PEV event. It's been held in Las Vegas. This last year it was in San Francisco Bay Area, and next year it's going to be in Portland, Oregon. You can go to PEVRA.org, PEVRA.org, and become a member for $20 a month or for $100, lifetime membership. It's a good cause. In today's episode, we're going to talk about riding in groups, one-wheel culture, training, fire, rapid fire, an e-bike called Sur Ron, Surron, that Jesse is pretty pumped about. And I'll tell a little story about when I took my Wolf Warrior to the Harley Davidson dealership. Yes, I did. And we'll find out what happened. Let's get into it. PEVRA, ride the revolution. PEVRA, ride the revolution. PEVRA, ride the revolution. PEVRA, ride the revolution. By the way, don't blame that music on PEVRA or Jesse. It's just me having a little fun. Let's get into the conversation. Pick up where we left off last time. Well, since we're talking about unicycles and scooters, I have a buddy who runs a scooter company who kind of switched from, when I say scooter company, I mean he rents scooters for tourists. It's not Bird, it's not Lime. He's an independent guy. He repairs them all, and he gets people trained. He makes sure they have helmets, all that whole kind of thing. He's a really, really good guy. And he went from the EUC community to the scooter community. I mean, he still rides both, but he said that there was some differences, like in attitudes and just, it's kind of a different, you would imagine that motorcyclists are going to be a little different from skateboarders, right? And surfers are going to be a little different from windsurfers, right? Do you have any comments, or is there anything you can say that you've noticed about the difference in community? I mean, I know you're all about bringing them together and riding together, and it's obvious on the videos that everyone's just having a wonderful time. There's no like animosity or anything like that, but I would think that people on EUCs would tend to be a little more daring and maybe have a few more bandages on them.
It's funny you should mention that. Well, we've all taken our share of spills, but as far as kind of the either attitude or the inclusiveness or just the kind of vibe that you get from rides. I know that's a really great word. I've really ridden in all kinds of conditions with all kinds of different riders, all kinds of different riding groups in so many different cities. So many different cities have their own spirit and their own character. And it really, especially early on in the scene, and we're kind of getting into maybe second or third iterations here now, but especially early on, things were very small and really kind of personality driven. A lot of times you would see, how maybe there was a really good sized city that maybe had, 4 electric unicycle riders, and maybe one of them was a jerk, or maybe two of them were a jerk. And now guess what? Now that's your group. And when you go out to a group like that, that's kind of what you might find. What's happened is we've really seen, I think you probably agree through your own metrics and through some of the sales statistics that we're seeing, is that the scene is exploding. Not literally, but exploding as far as popularity, and especially on the scooters and the e-bikes, and also on the electric unicycles. So what we're seeing is the riding groups are larger. We're now seeing multiple riding groups in different communities, and we're not so tied to this is an all you got kind of mentality, because it really is fun to get out and ride with other people. I know initially it can be sort of intimidating, or people can be worried, am I going to be able to keep up, or am I going to fall, or is anything bad going to happen? But for the most part, the riding groups that I've been a part of and I've really enjoy riding with, and I'll name drop a few of them now. LA Eastgate down in Los Angeles. The Vegas scene has really grown quite a bit, and I miss getting out there as much as I have before. And up here in the Bay Area with Baysgate, what we do have is we've got larger riding groups, different sort of vehicles. We've got our group rides, which can now get up to as many as 100 riders. We're now starting to see some stratification there. So we'll have a slow pack and we'll have a fast pack. So it isn't all about keeping up with the fastest riders. It's about going out and having fun, staying safe, because nobody wants to get hurt or see anybody get hurt, but also ride with a group that kind of matches your skills and your interests. And as we've seen the groups get larger, we've just seen more of diversity within our ranks in a lot of different ways. And I think it's been really good and healthy for the scene.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. I rode motorcycles for a while with large groups of people, not necessarily not outlaw type, biker that maybe most people are thinking of, but I've done that. And I know how important it is to know the little hand signals and, who rides in the back and who rides in the front and all that kind of thing, how to keep your distance, how to stagger and all that kind of stuff. So I know that stuff is really key, but I kind of enjoy riding either alone or with two people. I kind of like two people. Three is good too, but I really enjoy. I did some rides with Zero to Epic, and I have different buddies that I ride with out in the desert. I do a lot of off-road. But I would like to, maybe you can on the side, or maybe you just tell me now if you remember, any of the groups in Vegas so I can get out there and talk to people and interview people and ride with people, because I actually don't know of a group in Vegas. Again, I'm from Hawaii and I moved here, and we're gone all the time. That's why I scoot by myself a lot. I throw my scooter in my van, and then we go down to Prescott, Arizona. We go to Monterey, California. We went to Tampa, Florida, Maine, all these different states to scoot. Is there any groups you can think of off the top of your head in Vegas right now that I could hook up with, or do you want to get back to me on the side?
No, absolutely. So Vegas PEV, the two biggest that I know of are Vegas PEV, and that's a group that's actually changed its name a few times. So currently on the Facebook, that's what they're referred to as. And also the Las Vegas One Wheels group. And I want to give a particular shout out to them, because they are the one group that has been there the entire time that I've been going to and riding in Vegas, really since 2017. They're the longest running group that I'm aware of. As you know, One Wheels are a specific culture in and of themselves. They're kind of like electric unicycles, but you ride to the side. They've got a big tire. They're not as fast, but they're very capable off-road, and they've got a really tight-knit community, and they really welcomed us as kind of outsiders initially. We're riding on this thing the wrong way. We're facing down the road instead of facing to the side. But they have just been great, and they were the group that really opened us up to the rest of the groups that have now really spawned in communities like Vegas. So those would be the two that I would recommend looking at.
I have a part of the show that I like to call rapid fire. Is that something you'd be interested in participating in?
You bet. Sounds great.
Okay. Are you ready? You can just say yes. You can say anything, and even these can go down little. You know what? Before we do that,
right.
Was there anything? I'm sorry. I want to nail down this one point. Major difference between EUC guys and gals and scooter guys and gals, scooterheads. Or are we just the same?
No. Main difference. I think you're right. I think electric unicycle riders do tend to be a little more adventurous. There is about standing on a form that has two wheels attached to it. That's very comforting, and I totally appreciate that. So there is this leap of faith, or that really needs to be made to kind of be able to jump on to one. But I'll also say our normal riding group, Basegate, up here in the Bay Area, all of our group rides have representatives from all different types of wheels, and we all get along. We all ride side by side, and I love it when Jay Cotton passes me on his Dualtron, and then I'll take him around the next turn, and it's so much fun. And we can all do this together, and all have a great time.
I like the 360 camera for that, because you can, after the fact, you can lock onto that person who's passing by you, and then it really looks like they're motoring, especially if you put on the brake, slow it down a little bit as they're really speeding up. That's a pretty cool shot. I like that. Okay, rapid fire. Are you ready?
You got it. Yes, sir. Hit it.
Fire! We play with fire! Rapid fire! Rapid fire! Fire! Fire right now!
On-road or off-road?
On-road.
Beast or commuter?
Commuter.
Black or fancy color?
Fancy color. I got to get my colorway going. I'm a bright green guy. So
yeah, me too. I'm definitely a fancy color guy. All right, night rides, yes or no?
Yes, all night, my favorite time to ride. Throw on the lights and let it rip.
That's what Ginger said also. Desert Island Band.
Who, to listen to or to hang out with?
Let's do first to listen to, and then tell me who you'd like to hang out with, because I never thought I'd be hanging out with one of my favorite bands.
On the plane and it crashes, right? So I'll go the Killers for listen.
Oh yeah, Vegas band. Good for you.
Vegas. I got to hit the note there, and it's just music that really gets me moving down the road. For band I'd like to hang out with most, I'm going to go. There's a band out of San Francisco called Planet Booty. Whoa. And and give them a look, give them a listen. Dylan and the crew are the most exciting and fun live show you have ever seen. They bring a great crowd out. They've actually got a nationwide tour that they're starting later this month, and they are awesome. Planet Booty, guaranteed good time, and they're friends from my neighborhood here in San Francisco, and they're fabulous.
It sounds like an offshoot of George Clinton. You know, he had Parliament, Funkadelic, Brides of Dr. Funkenstein, all the Mothership Connection, P-Funk, and Planet Booty, man. That fits right in there.
They are funky name. And ready to roll. So yeah, there's great name, great guys. Yeah,
do they actually? They do play funk.
They do. They're very funkadelic. Yeah,
It's all about funk.
It's all about the body, baby.
We
Planet
love
Booty.
the funk. Gotta have the funk. Yeah,
that's right.
All right, rapid fire next.
Yes.
Last meal. If you're ever, I don't think you'll ever find yourself on death row unless they outlaw EUCs. Let's just say an asteroid is headed toward Earth and you've got an hour. What are you going to eat? I'm not going to be eating, but let's just say, okay, you have something you can eat.
I'm going to go with the surf and turf. I'm going to go with the ribeye and some of our San Francisco Dungeness crab.
Ooh, nice. And how's that ribeye cooked?
That medium rare.
Oh, yeah. With potato or rice, or what's your starch?
I do like a potato, and definitely with some butter and some thyme and garlic in that cast iron pan when you're cooking it.
Dude, you know what? Here's my secret weapon. People come over to my house, and if we have steak, it's not that often we do it. Sometimes I serve steak. Hey, maybe I got a little extra cash. Maybe I busted open a piggy bank or something. I smoke the ribeye for like 15, 20 minutes. And then what I've been doing lately is kind of throwing it on a grill. But I also do the cast iron pan and the butter, and we have rosemary and thyme growing in the yard. You just throw it in that pan. Big spoon. I use those spoons that you use to get hard ice cream out of the container.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it holds more butter than a regular spoon.
For sure.
So I use one of those, and that's what I base the steak.
Hey, next time in Vegas, I'm coming over. It won't be my last meal. It'll be our next meal.
Please come visit us in Vegas. We'll do some riding.
Let's do it.
Do you own an electric scooter?
I do not own an electric scooter, no.
Do you have a preference for what scooter you like?
A lot of our riders here, so, you see V-Sets, Mantis. The Dualtrons are very popular here. If I've got to admit, if I've got a guilty pleasure right now, and I know I'm an electric unicycle guy, if I've got a guilty pleasure right now, it's for the Sur Ron electric bicycles. I don't know if you've had a chance to be on one of these. They are SURRON, Sur Ron. They are intense and incredibly capable, and I'm so glad that I don't have room in my house for one, because I would definitely have one. I got a chance to jump on a friend's a couple weeks ago, and I haven't stopped thinking about it yet. So it's a good ride when you're thinking about it afterwards.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So,
oh, yeah. You know how they say you don't see motorcycles parked in front of a psychiatrist's office? It's because
right.
that PEV forces you to eliminate any, your spouse gave you a hard time, or you've got a couple bills that are hanging around your neck, or a couple things, your income tax is coming up. You forget all that stuff because you're like, I don't want to get splattered by an 18-wheeler. So you're kind of forced to focus. And when you're riding in large groups of people, you're weaving out, you're always keeping an eye on what people behind you, to the side of you, in front of you, what everybody's doing. So it's like meditation. Am I right?
Absolutely. And it just clears the mind and frees the mind and really unlocks the mind to take on the rest of the world even better than you're able to do normally.
Free your mind and your booty will follow.
Let's go. As I like to say, let's keep going.
Do any electric unicycles take keys? Like I am anti-key. I don't like having keys on scooters. I think they're stupid. They're a waste of time. It's an extra chunk of metal. I could go on and on, the many reasons. Let me just say, don't like them, okay? Not a fan. Do electric unicycles, some of them have that?
No.
Oh, good. Good. Because if you're going to go into a store or something, bring it in with you. That's what I say with a scooter. You're never going to leave it out parked. And even if you did, is a key really going to stop anybody? You just pick it up and throw it in the back of a truck.
Absolutely, no keys, and it's one of the things we do enjoy about the unicycles is they've got handles. You can push it right in the store like a piece of luggage. Nobody even gives you a second thought, and it's
right.
The safest place is right next to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I figure if people can ride around in them big old mobility scooters and hog up the whole aisle, nothing against them, but I'm saying they take up a lot of space and stuff, cumbersome. Why can't I come in with my little teeny scooter, throw my bag over the handlebars? And actually, that is what I do.
Yep.
I was in I do go off on these little tangents, sorry, but I was at Harley Davidson dealer in Las Vegas, and I was just getting my battery checked. I have a problem with one of my motorcycles right now, not holding a charge, so they have a machine in there. So I took it in there, and I brought my scooter in. Of course, it's a motorcycle dealership. It's a giant marble or Italian stone floor or whatever it is, that shiny ceramic tile kind of stuff. And there's 100 motorcycles parked everywhere. And this girl, she was probably 26, 27 years old, comes running up to me, "Sir, you can't bring that in here." It was a Wolf Warrior 11-inch tires. Right. And I looked around at all the motors, and people are actually in the act of moving them around and this and that. Right. And I'm an actual customer, giving them money. And I just laughed. I couldn't think of anything funny. As soon as you leave the place, you think of 1,000 little quotes that would have been so timely. But I just had to laugh. And I know she felt bad about it because she thought she was doing her job, but I don't think she was, because I don't think anybody in that store would really think, in a store full of motorcycles, that it's going to hurt anything for a 100-pound scooter with 11-inch wheels to chew up their floor.
Right. Well, that's part of what we're working against is increasing awareness, increasing visibility, and just allowing our vehicles to be in places where right now people don't let them. So I hope the next time you go back, maybe they've changed something, or the next time we go somewhere where we're not allowed, maybe we can start to be that agent of change and start to see us expand our own footprint.
Very well said. And another way of saying that I would like to say, or another way of saying sort of what you said, is I'm proud of myself I didn't flip her off, because
that too.
I mean, just laughing is sort of insulting and condescending, but I do push this almost every episode. I try to every episode, is be an ambassador for your community. If some lady, the only PEV rider she's ever seen is someone who ran over her toe and then gave her a dirty look and, kicked up some rocks and went off into the sunset. People, unfortunately, they say, well, all of them are like that. So I always, if I'm coming to a bottleneck and there's people walking, I will stop, get off of my scooter, walk it through the bottleneck, make sure I say, "Hey, have a great day. How you doing today?" Give them a smile, that kind of thing. And I hope everybody in our community does that, because it's so important. Because rental scooters, the whole rental scooter phenomenon and their bogus, skewed statistics are trying really hard to destroy our reputation. Because I also say this a lot, I do it for fun. I'm happy you, and the reason Chuck Temple got into it and a lot of folks, are to save the planet. I just got in it to have fun, because I just think that they're awesome, and I needed a way to replace the adrenaline from surfing and standing up on an electric scooter. It turns out that that's the thing that blows my skirt up, and that's what I like doing. So
let's keep going. Let's keep doing it. I love how you talk about being ambassadors for this too, because that's really important.
It's so important. Thank you. And it's something I try to stress on every single episode. So I'm so happy that we have guys out there like you who are willing to go through, it's a lot of trouble to set up particularly a successful get-together, to get all people together and all the arrangements, the logistics, and all that kind of stuff. So good on you for what you do. And if there's ever anything I can do to support you, you want me to put out the word on anything you got going on, you can always text me. And for anybody out there, you can always go to, I'm not a big Facebook guy. I do have an electric scooter podcast.
I get it.
Facebook page.
Sure.
And I don't check it that often, and I don't want people to know, not to feel bad if I don't answer you right away. If you send me an email at dagwoodstreets@gmail.com, boom, I'm on it. I'll get back to you right away. But the Facebook thing is kind of up there so that people can, just make comments. And, I'm hooked in with Philippine groups and Thailand groups and UK and Australia and stuff. So I just get to see different stuff that's going on. But please contact me if, hey, there's just something, can you stick this into your next episode, Dagwood. We got this or that going on. Hey, I'm happy. Matter of fact, I'm starved for news. Good, positive scooter news and that. It's hard to come by. So please do that.
Well, thanks for the invite. Really enjoyed being part of this, and thanks for doing what you do, because the more voices we have really in the positive light for any type of micro mobility solution, it's good for all of us. So keep doing what you do. We'll keep doing ours, and can't wait to try that steak dinner next time I'm in Vegas.
When you're in Vegas, please do. I don't know how well you know Vegas, but being from Hawaii, I used to love it when friends or relatives would come visit. I was so proud of where I lived and taking people to the little inside places that other people don't know about. I still enjoy doing that. Even I've already been in Vegas, 4 years. Since I'm gone all the time, I'm not that familiar, but I do have a few favorite restaurants, places to scoot and things like that. So yeah, if you're in town, hit me up for sure, my brother.
Can't wait. Show me yours, I'll show you mine.
All right, Jesse. Take care. It was great talking to you. Thank you so much for being on the Electric Scooter Podcast.
Real pleasure, Dagwood. Thanks again.
Aloha. And there he goes, Jesse. Part 3, the last of our 3 installments, speaking with journalist, electric unicycle enthusiast, PEV advocate, founder of PEVRA.org, and organizer of the annual PE event West Wheel. If you get an opportunity to participate in that, I'm sure you'll have a great time. We need more people like him. I hope you enjoyed listening as much as I enjoyed that conversation. What a great guy. Stay tuned next week for another episode of the Electric Scooter Podcast. And until next time, keep the shiny side up and the dirty side down.